Good afternoon, everybody. It's Brian from Day Trading Demystified. This is my first video update in a week. I've been busy dealing with other things. Gonna try to make this video short. It's a rainy Friday afternoon. So first of all, the SPY just kind of chugging along here. We've got our two time frames: 6 months, 1 day, 5 year, 1 week. SPY, it's still still on an uptrend. It's just chugging along. Everything's still all good. Today we're going to talk about my favorite stock first instead of last. So DDD 3D Systems Corp. Here we've got it on the 6 month, 1 day, and of course the 5 year, 1 week. You know, a lot of people have been emailing me asking me about DDD because I've been harping on this since May. It's not computer science. Like I said, after the Eiffel Tower effect, we had this consolidation. When the stock looks negative, a lot of people jump on the negative bandwagon. That's the time you have to learn to be a contrarian in the stock market. Several people I know are up huge on this because of my friendly recommendation. Of course, I don't give advice. That would be wrong. So DDD's had its nice big breakout here on the long term. You know, it's just going to creep along. The upper trend line is now up in this area, 52, 53 perhaps. I don't think it's going to go a whole lot higher before it has a little bit of a pullback. But again, I fully expect this will return to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. A couple years from now, I expect it to be well over 100. Hey, I could be wrong. Who knows, right? I'm wrong all the time. Let's have a look at some stocks that I am kind of looking at. And these are just stocks that make me go, It's all about time frames when you're looking or considering buying a stock. Something can look great on one time frame and not so good on another. Let's have a look at LITB, Light in the Box Holdings. Once again, I couldn't care less who this company is, are, or what they do. Only thing I care about is the chart. Now, if we look at this stock on the 6 month, 1 day chart, it looks fantastic. All right, we got our trend line out. We've got this long trend line down here. It's broken. We've got this long period of consolidation. And then, of course, we got a breakout. Looks fantastic. I'm in for 5,000 shares. Well, hang on a second. Let's look longer term. This stock is right there. Now, if you look at this candle here, this is the close of that week. This close coincides or matches right with the close here. And of course, on this longer term time frame, I can easily draw a long-term downward trend line. Now, of course, this stock could go to 7, 8, 9, 10. I wouldn't touch it simply because overall, up, down, up, down. Now this is not a lower high than this, but they do match. However, if we look here now, right there, and then in this area, we do have lower lows. Again, it looks great here. That's why I wouldn't touch it. If you want to buy 5 billion shares, I could be wrong. Knock yourself out. That's why I wouldn't touch it, and that's why it is always so very important to check multiple time frames. RNG, this is from one of my watch lists. It's just kind of chugging along. Again, if you look in this area, it's coming right into that here $16 area. Coming into it right there. I expect it to meet some resistance. Long-term downward trend has been broken. Could creep up. This is a position trade from mine from about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. I was in it for about $2 for a few days, and it worked out quite nicely. Again, this video is just about time frames and stuff. So a couple stocks I'm looking at now. AKS here on the 6 month, 1 day chart. Not really much to look at. However, if we look down here at the 5 year, 1 week chart, you can see that it is building enthusiasm, although it does have the 200 MA above its head. If it pops out of that, then it will have met some more of my requirements for buying a stock. We can draw all kinds of trend lines here. We can just go like this, and then we can say the downward trend line was broken there. Now, when it's broken, What does it usually do? Retests. Maybe we've got a pennant forming here. Again, if it pops above 8 on good volume, then I would use the 200 as my stop, and I would buy perhaps. Again, that's just my opinion. I do not give advice. Again, that would be wrong. Coming into some resistance, a stock worth keeping your eyes on. AT, kind of the same situation. 6 month, 1 day. Looks like we've got some buying coming in, some enthusiasm. Longer term again, right? Still in that long-term downtrend. Now, if it can pop above that downward trend line, I think it would be worth looking at. And even more so, if it can get inside, if it can get inside this big red bar here, then again, I think it could definitely be something worth looking at. STEM, it had a breakout. I mentioned this in a video about 2 weeks ago that I was waiting for a pullback. I got my pullback. We were in at, I believe, 189, 191. I jumped out at the open 2 days later here. So we were in for almost this whole bar. This is a stock you could stay in the longer term. It looks like it's getting ready to reverse all of this downward ugliness. We had the long downtrend. It's been going sideways since July 2012, I think. It had that little breakout a couple weeks ago there. It does have the 200 long-term MA on its head coming into it. Also, definitely worth looking at. That's it. That's all I'm looking at. Sorry there was no updates since Monday. A lot going on in life, as with everybody else. Enjoy your weekend, and we will have updates next week. Until then.